Well, hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Michelle Crawford. Today we have a longy. A longy. I rolled a longy. Yeah, I thought it would be fun. I bought these vibes. Catch a vibe by the foot this year. And this was my first effort at rolling a longy. I used an organic tip, fatty style, for the tip. See? And we used Vibes Fadi Blancos by the foot. And it's a pretty big joint, I guess. Let's see, where's some regular papers? Regular papers to compare the size. Go big or go home, folks. Hold on. Let's see how she smokes. What's in the Longy? The Longy has multi-cannabinoid formulation. The Longy is comprised of my THCV strain, which is THC, THCV, 7% each. So very low THC. Oh God, we're not going to be able to light this bad boy. Let's try candle lighting. And then I added some CBG in it from one of the people that I've been recommending to you, Dreamland Organics, their lavender CBG strain. And then I added some CBD strain as well. I think it was the Eden from them. And let's see, CBG, CBD, and THC and THCV. It's going to be a hell of a joint, guys. It's a hell of a day at sea, Captain. Let's get it smoking. Oh my God. Renee Leonard. Hi, girl. Good seeing you at blog class this morning. I know. Look at this. What am I even doing? What am I even doing? Well, I thought that if I smoke the longy and answer questions that I've gotten on the channel, that will do good. That's the plan for today. I hope you're with it. As soon as I can get this massive thing lit, then we'll go. How about that? Hope you're having a great day today here on the live. I'm having a good day. You know, after this, I have to go pick up my kids from school. Just in case you wonder what I do with my life, I just sit in the basement and roll longies. No, that's not what I do. No, we're not even there. We're not even lit. We can't even get like, we're going to work on this. We're going to work on this the whole time. Hey, girl. Hey. I love having you on the sesh. Thank you so much for joining. You get an award. That's a matter of fact. I've been thinking about how to reward people who join the live. Obviously, there's Rep Your State of Mind giveaways. Obviously, there's that. But I really, to me, you guys are special. Everybody who shows up here to support me is special. And I always want to do nice, special things to support you back. And Rep Your State of Mind is probably the best one that I have to give right now. But you know how it is. You know how it is. Let me think about it for a minute. Put some suggestions down below if you know anything that people do for their subscribers and followers that you think is really cool. Because I like the cool ideas. Okay. Please be lit. Please be lit. Let's smoke. A little bit. A little bit. Finally. It's getting there. It's getting there. It takes a while to get this sucker lit, man. I've never had a longy before. Okay. Okay, we're smoking now. It's like a cigar. Kind of like a Canagar, huh? I did a lot of rolling, like on the table, sort of like sushi roll sort of rolling. To get it rolled. It was an effort. It was a big effort for me. I'm not used to rolling something quite this large, massive. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Renee. We got fire, fire, fire. Smoke, smoke, smoke. We are giving it our all. We are not giving up. We are going to smoke this long. Oh. Okay, we're going to cough. All right. First things first, though. Second things second, after the first things first, I did make some notes of what people have been asking in the chat. So thank you for joining me. Today's day 7 of 30 days of live sesh. I mean, you guys getting onto the internet for 30 days, just making it, just getting here and doing it and making the time. I'm just really proud of myself. And if you attempt this, I'll be proud of you too. Let me know if you ever do, and I will come to your live session, drop you a heart, 100%. Wow. It's such a big deal to just keep it going. You know what I mean? And I have some like kind of issues with the paper breaking. And so I have to kind of put my mouth over the whole thing to make sure that we smoke it. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's answer questions. I got to say, shout out David Settle, 8456. You are the top question answer here on my channel for the week. First week of live sesh, you're the winner of the most questions. I should have a prize for you. You actually asked me, what does a man have to do to get a free grinder? And to be honest, I don't sell grinders. So it's like, what do you have to do to get a free grinder? Perhaps start by asking questions. That's number one. So let's answer David Settle's 8456's questions. Number one, what's hash versus CBD versus THCA versus THC? Anybody? Anybody want to answer that question? You let me know. All right, I'll give it a shot. What's hash? Let's start there. And then everything else that you named, David, is a cannabinoid. So number one, hash is a concentrate of cannabis, of the plant, and it is usually made with water hash, or made with mechanical sifted hash. And it contains cannabinoids. It is a concentrated product of cannabis that is made by washing it with water and having the trichomes come off, which you collect, or by dry sifting it and collecting the trichomes that way, bringing the hash together, the keef together into a little ball. Keef is another name for this byproduct of cannabis. It's not exactly the same thing as hash. Hash is like an even more refined version of keef. Keef can have things like plant matter in it, little bits of leaf matter, things like dust, that kind of thing, whereas hash is only going to have trichome heads if it's the best quality. That's hash, a concentrate of cannabis. It's usually about twice as potent as flower in general. In general, that's just a general. It can be much more potent than that. It could be less potent than, not usually less potent because it is a concentrate, but in general, we think of it as twice as potent as flower. So if your flower is 10% and you make a hash of it, the weight of that hash is at least 20% of the cannabinoid that the potency was. What is CBD is the next part of your question, versus THCA versus THC. All of those are cannabinoids. Cannabinoids are the chemical compounds that the cannabis plants, hemp plants, marijuana plants grow. That is the name of the family of chemicals that are the medicinal compounds that we're finding in the trichomes that grow on the flowers of female cannabis plants, which includes hemp, and marijuana is another name for this. Ganja, pot, weed, all of those, words for cannabis, all the same. What cannabinoid it grows is what differentiates the plants, at least in the American legal system. In the American legal system, a plant that grows 0.3% or less THC is a hemp plant. In science, they're all the same plant. All tomato plants are tomato plants. Do they grow the same tomatoes? Not exactly. Some grow the little grape kind. Some grow the big beefsteak kind. Some grow little pear-shaped yellow ones. Some grow cherry little round red ones. There's the Italian style ones and all of that. Same thing with cannabis. We have plants that grow various cannabinoids. CBD, THCA is the precursor, the acidic version of THC, and then THC. So the plant doesn't really grow THC, it grows THCA, and then we heat it. And that transforms any cannabinoid from its acid state. So there's an acid state for every cannabinoid. CBD has CBDA as its acid precursor. THC has THCA as its acid precursor. And when we add heat, time, light, all these things that convert, change, affect that chemical, it will drop that acid and become the neutralized version. THC, CBD, CBG, you name it. The list keeps going. There's over 100 known cannabinoids already. Let's check the chat. I'm so proud of you. I've been thinking of it, but I don't know what to talk about. Ha ha ha. Yeah. It's kind of funny. We get on here and we just talk. And I'm so grateful to listeners and watchers for the questions, because that's really what it is. That really gets it done. Well, I could talk about what I want to talk about, but it's kind of funny. Like, I think it's best to talk about what you want to talk about. And at the very least, let's answer these questions. So I think we've got that. What's hash versus CBD versus THCA versus THC? So if you have any further questions about that, don't be afraid to ask me. I love this stuff. I could sit here and talk about it forever. It's good I have my own channel, and like, you don't have to watch me if you don't want to. Okay. How can a man win a free grinder? I'll be working on that one for you, David. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to say hey to Dawn, my friend from Michigan. I saw you commenting a couple times on the channel. Hey, Dawn. I hope you catch this shout out for you. Mwah, out there doing the good in cannabis. It was great meeting you in Michigan. I can't wait to see you again. Maybe check me out. I'm going to be coming to the Catskills. Join us. Okay, another question from David. What's a good CBD daytime strain? Oh, I answered this yesterday and a little bit the day before on the channel on Daystream Live, 6 and 5. Okay, we're smoking. We're doing good now. Let's get that ash off before it falls off. Look at that. Okay. So then another question from David is, what are my top 5 strains and companies? So I'm assuming you're thinking THC strains. So let's just start with that. So THC strains, typically my consumption around THC is either California based or it's my own homegrown based. So this year, if you follow me here on this channel, I think we already talked about what my husband and I grew in our garden, and that was Diet Durban. I already talked about that. That's in what's today's Longy, is Diet Durban, which has THCV and THC. And then we also grew, hold on. All of these are THC strains except for that one, which is a THC and THCV. Okay. So Oaxacan Jaguar from Seeds, from Equilibrium Seeds, and from Green Shock Farms, we grew TOB, which is Tropical Orange Bomb, and Key Lime Cookies. And then we grew White Widow as a clone from, I believe it was Harborside, which sells clones from Dark Heart Nursery here in California, in Oakland, I believe. And let's see, so we grew White Widow and Wedding Cake, and I think that was it. White Widow, Wedding Cake, Tropical Orange Bomb, Oaxacan Jaguar, Key Lime Cookies, and Diet Durban. That sounds right. We might have had mimosa in that mix. I'm not sure. So for THC flowers, that's what I'm smoking this year from my home grow. In terms of things that you can buy, I mean, you could buy those seeds from Seedsman for the dietdurban.com, at Equilibrium Seeds for the Oaxacan Jaguar, and Green Shock Farms for the tropical orange bomb, and key lime cookies. There you go. In terms of what am I smoking for CBD and farms that I like, for CBD and CBG, I've already mentioned them, I think, twice on the channel already, but Horn Creek Hemp in Oregon and Dreamland Organics in Oregon as well. And if you check out my website, cannacuriouscoaching.com, I have a resources page with a lot of this information that you're wanting from me. So I do have a place for you to go to get this like 24/7 all the time. And the strains that I like from them, I mentioned before, are Lifter from Horn Creek Hemp. They also have special sauce, which is good. They have stem cell CBG, a CBG strain that is really good. And I think Sour Space Candy is another great one. And the reason why I'm saying all of those is because I do like to mix my CBD and CBG and THC together. And when I do that and make like a salad, sometimes I like to have things match up in terms of all of them being like sativas or all of them having limonene. And so they kind of match up together. It's like making a meal. It's like cooking. Or sometimes if you want a more of a nighttime smoke with an indica leaning profile and you want a lot of myrcene, I'll pick strains from these places with terpene profiles that match up my THC profiles that I have at home or that I'm buying from dispensaries so that everything goes together when I make what I call a salad, which this is a salad. This is a salad of the home grow Diet Durban, the lavender CBG from Dreamland Organics, and blueberry CBD from another company. I think it was called Mr. Hemp. I just have samples laying around. So not from one of my recommended farms. Okay, so there's no way we're smoking this whole Longy. We are not even making a dent in it. As far as California cannabis companies whose flower I really love, I do buy a lot from local growers that are outdoor, like Emerald Spirit Botanicals. I have a piece on my Instagram on one of their more famous cultivars called the Four Seasons, I believe, because it expresses multi-cannabinoids. It expresses 4 different cannabinoids, like THC, CBD, THCV, and CBDV, I believe. And that is awesome. CBDV and THCV, the V stands for varin. So tetrahydrocannabinol varin and cannabidiol varin. And of course, those strains, all those cannabinoids have A's. So CBDVA and THCVA are the precursors to, the neutral varins. So Emerald Spirit Botanicals, Moon Made Farms here in Northern California is something I'll pick up at a dispensary. Let's see. I would love if you guys could come over here and we go to a dispensary together and shop together, because then I could really show you what I'm talking about here in terms of how to pick cannabis in California according to terpene profile, what you're looking for, whether they're an outdoor sun-grown grower, whether they're an indoor living soil grower, that kind of thing. It's all very like da-da-da-da-da. Speaking of indoor living soil growers, Flora and Flame is a company that I really like. You can follow them on all the places. I see them at all the events. I love how they're the only ones here in California that grow vertically, double, and in living soil indoors. It's quite it's quite a feat. It's quite the feat, and I appreciate them and their efforts. Okay, so in terms of like local places, it's always changing. I appreciate dispensaries that grow their own, like Airfield Supply Company, my local dispensary that is like really most closest to me, together with Harborside San Jose. Harborside San Jose is connected to like a billion cannabis companies, and so they usually have a huge selection, whereas Airfield has a also huge selection, does a lot of the business here in the Bay Area, tons of business for the Valley, but they also have their own grows, as well as Harborside Farms has as well. And because of that, I like to buy their homegrown in-house flower. It's not necessarily all indoor flower. Some of it's outdoor grown, I believe. Especially for Harborside Farms. All right, you guys. Honestly, this Longy is delicious. Consider rolling yourself a giant ass multi-cannabinoid Longy one day with these vibes. Where are my vibes? I bought these vibes by the foot. You can get them at your local smoke shop. And if they don't have them, ask for them. You can also buy them online and get a whole box to yourself, which I did. And get yourself some of these organic tips. I don't have a code for them. I don't have a code for any of this, but hey, do your thing and impress your friends with a longy. And don't get too high. I mean, I don't think you noticed this, but because it's multi-cannabinoid, I'm not like sitting here like super mega stoned and struggling to talk and answer questions about my top 5 strains and companies. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. And all of these cannabinoids have a lot of benefits for you. So, that's why I always talk about them. We all need to learn more about how to have the benefits of multi-cannabinoid therapies in our lives. All right. And one way is a longy. And isn't it a fun way? I can't wait to see you here tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Wednesday. Hump day. Happy hump day. Happy get your smoke on day. See you then. Bye. Thanks for joining. Ask more questions.